Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for New Sports. Victor Allen's own unique Neil Urban look into sports. Sexy, exciting. And here's the man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. Here's Vic. Yeah.
And when the day comes, when the woman says sexual chocolate, I'll believe that. And until then, you ain't helping.
Well, you got to get them, and you got to get them in here and coach them.
I think they've already answered.
They're
going like
sexual chocolate.
You know, it ain't happening.
I tell them to call me the African Prince.
Yeah, well, you tell them to call you whatever you like.
Yeah, I like that. Call me African Prince.
Oh, yeah, but an African Prince that has a bedpan. Okay, welcome to New Sports, you guys. And on New Sports, our own little flavor, twisted and flipped and you stirred up any way you want to. And one of the topics I had to think about was, you know, you're a Chad Ochocinco man, right, man?
No, actually, I'm not even an Evelyn man, even though I give Evelyn a break. You know, I watch the Basketball Wives.
Okay, wait a minute.
Even though Ochocinco's a football player,
yeah,
he has a basketball wife. Okay, one of the, she wasn't even a wife. He's got an ex-basketball girlfriend as his old lady on Basketball Wives. So I know all about Ochocinco and his dating stuff.
You see what I'm saying? See, he's not following me. Let me just set the stage. He's
hoochies.
Following the women. That's right. Are they hoochies?
Some.
Okay. It's okay.
Not all.
Hey, check it out.
Well,
you know.
What's happening, Tammy?
Okay. Mario, do you respect an organization like the New England Patriots because of the protocol, process, and philosophy they engage with all their players that are coming on the team?
Yes, I do respect the machinery.
Okay, good. I want you to look at this picture. Here's part of the machinery in a former life. Ted Bruschi, former Patriot, football analyst right now, linebacker, rips Ochocinco's tweet. Did you hear anything about this story, man?
No, I did. He ripped his tweet?
Yes, he did.
Because I wasn't sure what that meant at first.
I know where you're going.
So I had a visual.
I know, but...
And I said, that's why Astroglide is out there.
Yeah.
So you don't rip the tweets.
Well, here's the part. A lot of people already know about this story. You have to hear the audio. You're not. I'm gonna read this off.
Can we play it?
You can probably go find the audio at YouTube, but I'm just gonna read it off of the folks who are basically saying, "Well, just tell me about it, and then I'll go find it." It's not just the words on the tweet. If you want to take a look here at Pack Stereo /live, and then go to Morning Coffee and hit New Sports. But I'm gonna read it off. But this dude went ballistic over this, and I want to read this, Marvin. Pretend like you're a Patriot or former Patriot, and you hear this.
I will.
This is Chad's tweet. He says, "Just waking up after a late arrival, I've seen a machine operate like that in person," which he's going towards Tom Brady in the Patriots game against Miami. To see video game numbers put up in person was wow. That's a Tom Brady response. Now, Mario, don't take it any further. Would you find that as to be a positive statement, negative statement, or controversial statement?
Say it one more time now.
Don't want to say it again. Just waking up after a late arrival, played the game, Tom Brady.
Oh, late arrival home, not a late arrival to practice. That's the first thing that was. I'm suspicious.
No, don't go there. He's just doing a reference to how he saw Tom Brady do his thing live, the record-breaking, TDs and yardage and everything. We covered that Tuesday. And he's basically saying, I got to see something in a video game format, and I was there. Wow. Is that positive, negative?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Good. I'm glad.
So you're sure you're not So that's
I'm looking at the actual tweet. I'm going to read off the tweet response from Ted. Now, here it is. And I'm only going to read part of it because it's too long because he went on a rant. This is the part.
You only got 140 characters.
Right, but you can send out multiple tweets, man. You know that. All right, here it is. Drop the off factor, okay, Ocho, Chad? Drop the off factor. You're not a fan, all right? You're not someone who's on another team watching TV. You're not an analyst. You're a part of it. They want you to be part of it. Now, I'm skipping to the second part of a tweet. I left out part of it.
You had to go to another tweet.
I'm going to another one to speed up the show. Stop tweeting and get in your playbook. Wake up. If you're just waking up now, I don't know when this was, 6 minutes ago, get out of your bed and get to the stadium and watch some film. If you still think it's amazing. If you're in it and you know what you're doing and you execute out there, you don't think it's amazing. Now, I said that in my tone. You have to hear his. Now, here's the part we're going to, Mario. Without you knowing any other piece of information, would you say that Ted is over the top?
Yeah, a little.
Do you think Chad deserves this?
A little.
Why?
Because it's mostly a reaction to his past behavior where as a player, he seemed to focus on his own multimedia interests more than the game. And Bruschi, being one of the hardcore guys, kind of doesn't like that. So it has to do with that. But it is a bit of an overreaction to this, what his Chad has done of late, even though one could argue, based on his history, that's why it's understandable. In other words, Bruschi didn't do this in a vacuum. It didn't occur in a vacuum. There's a reason. He has an ongoing, probably a somewhat. He's had previous impressions of Chad, and that's what's coming out now.
Okay, let me go say this. When they reported it, I said, "Oh, okay." When I read the tweet and just taken myself away from it and said, "Look, if the guy's going to tweet anything, he's actually celebrating what he saw as a quarterback that he hadn't had the experience at Cincinnati." And he says, "I'm watching." It's like having LeBron James on your team, and you go, "I'm watching him do this, and it's blowing me away." I'm going, "That's the message I got." To take this where he's taking it, I'm going, "Ted, looked like your mouth was on steroids." Now that's my opinion, and it may not be validated.
My thing was, Beaks, he kind of overdid it, and Chad probably won't respond because he's on New England now and trying to be better. But in past years, he probably would have said, "Fuck you."
See, wait a minute. Let's bleep out the word.
What do you guys think he would have said? I think that's what he would have said. He would have said, what are you doing when people keep talking? Well, I hate you and you're always this, and you just pause at the end and say, "Fuck you."
Okay.
Somehow it works so well sometimes. It's the most appropriate response.
And Mario, the part is this. Would you consider Ted an old school player?
Yeah.
Which means...
That's why I'm not really mad at him. I'm basically back out of it. Because Ted, he comes from a work ethic type thing. And those cats like that, that's the way they are. They get irritated with the continuing drama that surrounds like Chad.
And Chad has behaved right now based to the Patriot way by learning a system that they all admit, he's admitted, the organization has admitted, it's going to take him time. So there's nothing that's happened that's negative so far. So when a man like Ted sees this first thing, I think he was lying in wait for something.
He already doesn't like Chad.
Right. So wait a minute. Let me go somewhere else before you go there, because you already hit the subject I'm going to. So before you give your answer, let me give some people some choices here, and you elaborate just about what you're going to say. I said, why is Ted Bruschi so upset? And I put 1, jealous, envy, didn't like Chad day one, received inside info of Chad's work ethic. Ted thinks he's Bill Belichick. Now, you tell me, you're about to go there already. You tell me what you think it is.
He's jealous over Chad's ongoing affair with Evelyn. See, Teddy Bruschi watched Basketball Wives.
I knew it.
And, he's pissed off that they don't have football wives.
That's not
because he might be able to get his old lady some extra money. So he's pissed. So Bruschi's mad because they don't have the football wives. He's watching Basketball Wives, and he's looking at Chad laying that pipe with Evelyn, and he's just pissed off.
How did you?
Because that's so. So Ted, I'm gonna tell Ted.
How did he get to?
Ted, stop watching Basketball Wives.
How did he get to this point?
No, watch the L.A. version of Basketball Wives, and then just watch Tyra's America's Next Best Model and get the tension out.
Okay. I guess you guys all got his answer. So we're going to pick what we think which one relates to the choices I gave you, which was jealous. You said jealous or envy, right?
Jealous.
Okay. I think...
They're kind of related.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. I think he didn't like Chad day one because he wasn't the type of person that comes and fits in the model. And for somebody to rant like this, and Mark, I'll say this. Go listen to it. And you get that... You can tell when somebody's allowed something to build up.
He's mad. He's mad because he saw Chad's penis in the locker room. Ever since he saw that, he said, "Damn, my little Bruschi." So it all comes back to penis envy. So that was the part 2 of my answer. I said it was jealous, but part of it is envy, and it's penis envy.
Okay.
As little Bruschi doesn't measure up to the big. Ochocinco, baby.
Look, I'm not trying to splash you, Ted. I'm just saying.
I am. It's all over penis envy.
No. I'm saying this. When somebody, here's the thing only thing I hold against him for this is that if you're going to be a TV analyst and you're in your new role If he's on your team, I think you should go and say your thing. But Chad is not the only one who has done tweeting this year. And so you're in a neutral position.
That's right.
And you haven't outed everybody else throughout the league who's done tweets. So you wait for this to happen to your organization. So as an analyst to me, I think the part that I have a rough time with is that you singled him out. So to me, I think you are lying in wait.
Show you right. You did. You singled him.
See,
that's not cool. Bad boy. Assume the position.
What's the position? Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, you guys. That's enough on that. I just said, come on, Ted, keep your neutrality. You're an analyst right now, man. Come on.
Yeah, get a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. You obviously need to get out. You know, if anybody was in need of a blowjob, it's obviously Bruschi. See? You get that uptight, that's what you need. You just need a blowjob. That's it.
Let me move on.
And don't come over here.
Don't do what? First of all, I do not endorse what Mario suggested. That is his own opinion.
That's my solution for everything.
Right.
Blowjob solves everything.
This is not going to help.
World peace.
You know what? When we have our guests next week on show, you're going to be no, you're going to behave.
I will. I'll remind them.
All right.
Blowjobs do move the world. Be surprised how far you get in the world if you would just get some head.
Okay, let me just say this. We'll never forget that blowjobs can take you up to the presidency and to the office, right?
That's right.
Okay, we know that. All right, let me go to the next subject here because it's not a big deal, but, you know, I have a question about the football conferences as it relates to the NCAA and dollar bills, and please ignore my rugby reference. We are already getting some pushback on some competitive conversation between the NFL players and the rugby players. But let me just say this. I want to ask a question. The question is, what NCAA football conference will have the most violations at the end of the year? Because now they're coming.
What kind of violations, Vic?
Here we go.
Because I don't know. I have to check with the local authorities.
Wait a minute, dude.
When people have been violated, I want to step up and do something about it. Probably University of Miami violating the most people down there. You know how they are down there. Always violating somebody in Miami.
Let me say this. I'm not bringing up all the conferences because we have so many. You have the Mountain West. You have the Big 12.
You know what they're doing up in the mountains.
You got the Pac-12. We got the SEC, ACC. You got there's so many. Now, before we go there, I want to give you the recent update. Ohio State, just recently, of course.
Ohio State. Norman, you're listening now.
Oh, that's cool. Ohio State booster admitted he played a role in giving cash to 3 players that led to each being suspended for 2 games. And to add to that, Boise State receives 3-year scholarship reductions for recruitment and impermissible housing and transportation violations. They're now coming at a pace. And USC has had theirs. Oregon has had questions.
Yes.
They're following through.
They all violate.
The only thing that's happening here is the big conferences are the ones who's getting caught. Now, we already know this, Mario. We already talked about the money for students, what we believe they should have. I want to know what do you think overall the percentage of violations from even the minimal standard, whatever it is, across the board, if you had to give a percentage that there's a lot more going on, they're just not getting caught, and there's a second part to this question. How bad did you think it is system-wide?
It is, Vic. It's system-wide. System-wide, there's violations. I think probably 30% of the schools probably have violations or more. And all you have to do is check the sphincter tone of some of the players. And that way you'll be able to estimate the degree and extent of the violations. But I know there's violations out there.
Their answer is that 70% of the schools are absolutely accurate to the law.
No, I say absolutely.
Okay.
But I think you have 30% you can find it right off the top.
I think it's higher.
Yeah,
I think
well,
it's higher.
I bet if you look a little closer,
right,
you may find that 50 to 60% of the schools have with some degree of minor violation.
Right. No, I agree. Now, the part that gets me is we still want to pick the conference because at the end of the day, I want to see who's going to be the lead dogs on this. Will it be the conference from the Pac-12, the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC, Mountain West?
Which one has Arizona, Vic?
Pac-12.
That's the one that's going to be right. Terrible conference.
Wait, okay.
Got to watch them packing mud in the Pac-12.
Okay, all right. Now, you know what? You're not. See, he makes me forget the part that I'm going because he keeps taking it away from credibility of sports follow. Okay. Let me just say this. I'm
against whatever Arizona. If it's Arizona.
Why? Okay, why is it? Tell me the reason why you think Arizona.
Because I'm still pissed off about the whole immigration thing.
So it's a carryover.
Yes, it is.
It's a carryover.
It's a carryover from the old days.
It's a carryover from the old days.
Still pissed in Texas, too, by the way.
Okay. I think the message here is when you look at Boise State, because of the program and the type of program that they have, they were kind of like the outsider from a different conference. They call
Boise
State, and we're talking about the BCS Buster, or
that's Boise, Idaho, right?
Yes.
That's like one of the whitest states in the whole United States.
Hey, look, I don't know the numbers on it. I don't know the numbers as far as the breakup.
Not that that's the problem. No. It's just that you don't get enough sunshine. Yeah. And, it's cold down there, too. I had friends who went to Idaho, Boise.
No sports. Let me just do this real quick. Congratulations, Mariano Rivera, for getting your 600 save. The best closer all time. Dustin Verlander, getting your record 23-5. You're doing it. I have to do this because
Tom Brady for the second best game of all time. Okay. Vic keeps trying to denigrate and minimize Tom Brady's wonderful performance.
And guess why we're on that subject? Because I'm gonna follow your lead on that. You're celebrating it just like Ocho did. And Ocho celebrated it well.
And Bruschi's hating on it.
And he's hating on it. That's what I'm saying. So I follow you on this one. I got you. But I still think when New England, when you give up 400-plus yards, you're about to run into the wrath of a team that has a better secondary and a better push rush.
That's true.
And I hate to say this, Wilfork and Hainsbury are great for stopping the run, but it's going to be difficult because I think they just don't have the speed. They definitely are the wall. But I don't know if they can penetrate as much because we have speedy quarterbacks. And they said, well, it's like Michael Vick. If they play against Michael Vick,
they're like ting, 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 ting.
That's it.
Ting, ping, ping, ping.
All right, so, now that you sit up here helping my day with my sports, I get no cooperation. But see, when I do the politics.
That's because of these pictures.
That's not it.
Because these kind of, ladies and gentlemen, this is why he gets no cooperation.
No.
The sexist smut.
That's not it.
It's all sexist smut.
It's not it, okay? Here, let me do my little exit guess on which I think the conference that may suffer.
That's definitely a B cup.
No, hold on. Just before you keep twirling around and looking, I'm not going to show the picture. I do believe, this is the surprise because I'm in the Western Conference or Western United States. I do think that, be careful, Pac-12.
I feel like Pac-1.
Pac-12
12 is too many.
May have more. I think they may have. Be careful, because they sneak up on you right now. The Big 12, of course, they suffer because Ohio State keeps taking the media on it. Miami's already laid the foundation, but you got other teams coming in.
Oh, no, you may have some conferences where everybody in the whole conference.
Yes.
Oh, that's what you mean. No, I can get you. Yeah, you're right on that. Because it's already bad out here out west.
Well, you know what I pay attention to? When the teams are discussing the expansion of the Super Conference and they're expanding, I said, when you have an insurgence of new players, you increase exponentially all the good things and possibly the bad. So I'm putting, the Pac-12, Big 12, and the Super Conference that's yet to come, maybe the SEC. Watch them. And I'm just saying, Pac-12 is not as glossier than
No, they're not.
Okay.
I watch them.
Yeah.
Closely.
All right. I covered recognition for baseball to a certain degree. I'm going to cover boxing next week with Mayweather, and I'm going to get into that. But let me go over to this picture that Mario basically says, there's a statement here with Danica Patrick who says NASCAR definitely allows a closure competitive interaction, and it should be closer. You see how it happens, man? You see what happens when you see what
that'll get me into watching NASCAR. How about y'all?
Okay.
One thing, they just go around in a circle.
Well, who?
NASCAR.
But dude, the best.
They just go around in a circle. They never make a right turn.
Have you watched the 24-hour Grand Prix of Le Mans or anything like that?
No, because when I read it, I thought it meant something else. When I read it, it looked like a different word.
Think about this one. You have to follow a race that you really can't follow all the way through in the camera shots. They have these moments where you just you get to see seconds and then you move away and catch seconds. But when you're in NASCAR, man, you get to follow around, man. It keeps you going.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to the subject of do you believe something here that's very important, Mark, because I think it's right up your alley. Bottom line, do you believe Danica Patrick was attracted to NASCAR competition because they allow bumping and grinding?
No. She's a good girl.
She's a good girl.
She doesn't even play those R. Kelly cuts.
Okay, so when we say bumping, we're talking about cars getting to bump.
Oh, okay.
So do you?
I thought you meant bumping grind.
Do you follow NASCAR at all? Okay, be honest.
Yeah, I do, because I like to get the Jimmy Johnsons confused.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm not going to let you continue on this. If you sit there and follow NASCAR, what is it about the round track racing that is the strong attraction?
Corn dogs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me just say
they have wonderful food in NASCAR
let me just go on
races.
this. It's not working. He's not following.
He's also roasted corn.
You know, if this was politics, he'd be all over it. If it was Dick Cheney in NASCAR, he'd be all over it. Okay?
Dick Cheney in NASCAR, I would. Right. I would. I want to see that one.
Okay, he's going to be a grand marshal one day. Here's the reason. Yes, Danica Patrick did say that the attraction, why she likes NASCAR, was because of the bumping, but not the grinding.
Man, she looked good there.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she?
Man, look at them legs.
Yeah. Bumping,
girl,
but not the grinding. Okay?
Well, you know, grinding's overrated. And even bumping uglies can be overrated.
I'm going to the next one. I get no help here. All right, let me ask you, do you believe this, Mario, since you are on a pace here to stay objectively away from sports? Okay. Do you believe New York Yankee pitcher Mariano Rivera recently quoted a fan asking him, "Have you been saved?" And Mariano's reply was yes, about 600 times.
I believe it.
You believe it?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Very good that you're wrong.
He's a heathen. He's not a heathen?
You're wrong.
Okay.
He was never asked, "Have you been saved?" And has he been saved 600 times? No, he has saved the New York Yankees 600 times with his 600 win.
I've saved 600 pennies.
At least it's not a sexual reference. I feel saved. Good. That's the first. Okay. I'm done.
You don't know penny.
I'm done. Congratulations, Mariano, man. Best closer all time. Hands down. I'm done, man. You don't cooperate with nobody.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is wrong.
That's been Victor Allen's New Sports. Victor Allen's unique insight into the world of sports. Hot, sexy, all sports-like. That's right. Girls, put on your jockstrap and join us for Vic's New Sports. Yeah!
You can really tell when people are relieved